Thank you. Good afternoon, distinguished guests. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to everyone attending the 2019 Peace Education Conference. My name is Ruben Massler, and it is my pleasure to be your moderator for this event. The title of today's conference is Teachers' Role for Peace Education. This event is co-organized by HWPL, short for Heavenly Culture, World Peace, Restoration of Light, and Masterpiece. In 2016, at the second annual commemoration of the September 18th HWPL World Peace Summit, HWPL, together with renowned educational experts, deemed peace education as a breakthrough methodology for spreading a culture of peace. Since then, HWPL has sought collaboration with countries around the world and to date has signed MOUs with 208 schools in 21 countries. Today, the progress of peace education in Romania will be reported, and both teachers and students involved in the program will share their experience and impressions. We hope that through our event today, you may be inspired and moved to implement peace education in Romania on a greater scale. I would now like to introduce to you our distinguished guests. Today, we are pleased to welcome Mr. Dragomir Marian, President of Masterpiece Romania. Mr. Young Min Chung, the IPYG General Director. Mrs. Hyun Suk Yoon, the chairwoman of IWPG. And Mr. Man Hee Lee, chairman of HWPL. Thank you all very much for attending this conference today. Also with us today are teachers and students from over 11 schools interested in peace education. Lastly, young people from all over Europe, eager to learn more about peace, have made their way to this conference. Please give everyone present here today a warm, welcoming round of applause. Different time periods in history have brought forth different types of leaders and leadership styles. What we consider a great leader has drastically changed from medieval times to modern times to contemporary times. The question is, what defines a great leader today? We have prepared a short video that shows the values and characteristics necessary for our children to become the leaders our world needs today. Let's watch the video.
After living through endless wars, humankind decided the way to stop tragedies was stronger military, stronger weapons, and stronger security. But can it really be the answer for building peace? Now it's time to turn that around. By teaching our children to nurture the spirit of peace, you can build a world of peace without seeking war or weapons. This simple yet innovative idea is what started the HWPL Peace Education. Now it is touching the hearts around the globe regardless of nationality, race, religion, culture, or ideology. The way to achieve world peace, which once seemed so far away. Would you believe it if children already have the answer? Children, what is peace to you?
Peace is love. I love my friend very much. So waited outside. Peace means forgiveness because when a friend says sorry to me, I just forgot everything and I just hug him and we feel so nice.
For me, peace is to be grateful for our parents.
Peace is a love. As I am living in a roof with my friends, and this is the only peace from my side.
For me, peace is to become one with neighbors who are different from me.
Cooperation, nations around the world should gather for the common rhythm and aim to create the peaceful world.
Without peacefulness, we don't have self-love and self-esteem. When we're peaceful, we have self-love and self-esteem and focus on self-actualization.
With peace education, what does the future hold for the citizens these children grow up to be?
He was a young man. From an early age, he joined his parents who volunteered to help children in need. As a grown man, he went on a business trip to Solferino, Italy. There, he saw a terrible sight of war. At the Battle of Solferino that marked 40,000 casualties, the man put aside his business and started relief work to save as many lives as he could. The seed of peace in this young man's heart, who put lives before his interest. That seed sprouted and grew into a big tree of peace.
Children are our responsibilities. They will hold this nation in the future. How good is our nation and our country is depend on our generation. They are involving in conflict. So we have to educate them. We have to disseminate the basic education to our children in the early age.
Because it has to be emphasized that where there is peace, development will be attained. And you can just imagine how close to perfection this world would be if there is peace and development.
The ultimate goal of peace education is to achieve world peace. World peace with strong roots that has never happened. The children who has SWPL peace education and the adults who know the value of peace will achieve the world peace together.
Children with the seed of peace, the efforts of everyone here can help them blossom.
Thank you. As you were able to see in the video, peace education has the power to transform the minds and hearts of our children and youth, from ones embossed by war and conflict to ones valuing peace and harmony. We believe that every student who undertakes HWPL peace education will grow up to become an agent for peace and will adopt a pioneering role in spreading a culture of peace around the world. Next, I would like to welcome to the stage Mr. Young Ming Chung, Director of International Peace Youth Group. Working around the world, IPYG aims to unite the world's youth under the banner of peace. Mr. Young Ming Chung will share his expert opinion on why peace education is necessary for establishing sustainable peace. Let's all welcome Director Young Ming Chung with a big round of applause.
네, 외국인 여러분, 안녕하십니까? 저는 대한민국에서 온 IPYG 부장 정영민이라고 합니다. 저희 IPYG는 HWPL의 양날개 중 하나로서 전 세계 청년과 함께 세계 평화를 이루어 나가고 있습니다. 먼저 HWPL의 평화교육 교재로 평화 시민을 양성해 가시는 교육자분들과 평화의 시민으로 자라나고 계신 학생 여러분들께 진심을 담아 축하드리고 응원합니다. 평화의 밝은 빛을 비추는 평화 시민이 되는 길은, 그리고 전 세계를 평화의 세계로 바꿔나갈 주인공이 되는 일은 어렵지 않고 평범한 일처럼 보이지만 사실은 평화 역사의 영원한 주인공이 될 큰 사건입니다. 인류 역사
But peace had been a nearly unattainable goal. Through the history of humankind, a state of peace free of conflict has been something very rare and short-lived. But that is about to change. Now, the ingredients for peace are ready, and we are given a chance to complete a world of peace. At this moment in history, we are here because we recognize the answer for peace, and we want to build a world of peace together. That makes you the champions of peace, and for that reason, what you are doing deserves congratulations and support, as I said at the beginning of my speech. Ladies and gentlemen, peace is made possible with heavenly culture, the culture of the heaven. Take a look at the sky. The sky knows no limits or boundaries. It does not differ nations, ethnicities, or religions. It transcends and embraces. Heavenly culture is above that of the earth, and it can lead all cultures on earth. Heavenly culture reaches far beyond our differences and disputes. It renews what used to cause conflicts and brings about harmony. It is what makes peace possible. HWPL Peace Education is based on this heavenly culture. It takes the wisdom of the complete order of nature and all creations in it. And it teaches the order of harmony that will stop discord between people, nations, and faiths. That way, we learn how to practice peace. It starts with building ourselves up as people of peace and bringing peace to our families, to our school, to our countries, and to the world. This is what HWPL Peace Education stands for. It is about the education and culture that nurtures citizens of peace. And now, I would like to introduce to you the answer to realizing them globally in legal terms. It is the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War and the 10 articles and the 38 clauses in it. The DPCW is an international declaration in format. It was drafted by the chairman of HWPL along with 21 international legal experts. It promotes peace education for future peace citizens, and its contents also includes articles and clauses relevant for international law in finding a fundamental solution to conflicts. Realizing the content of the DPCW will provide a strong foundation for nurturing citizens of peace. On that note, I would like to take a moment and introduce to you the contents of the DPCW. The DPCW has 10 articles and 38 clauses. Articles 1 to 5 deals with preventing conflicts. Articles 6 to 7 are about resolving conflicts, and Articles 8 to 10 presents measures to sustain a peaceful global society. The declaration is different from existing codes of international law because it offers a comprehensive solution encompassing the principles for conflict resolution according to international order. The role of education, culture, the media, and civil society in sustaining peace. The global support for the DPCW is growing fast and coming from all levels of our societies. Support is coming from international organizations like the Pan-African Parliament, on international organizations of heads of parliament of the 55 countries in Africa, and the International Center for Black Sea, Baltic Studies and Consensus Practices, which members are former heads of states of Eastern European countries, countries including 12 island countries in the Pacific, and 145 member states of the United Nations expressed their support for the declaration. Also, over 1 million citizens from 176 countries around the world have given their signature to support the DPCW. What is especially noteworthy is the campaign launched this March, called the Peace Letter Campaign. In just a few days, over 200,000 people joined the campaign and sent handwritten letters to heads of states and representatives of missions to the United Nations of 193 United Nations member states to tell them how much our society needs the DPCW. As you can see, global citizens and nations are gladly promoting the DPCW. That is because they understand that the DPCW is truly the answer for peace. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a time of peace made possible. The answer for peace is there, and it is taught for those who learn. It is a great opportunity worth thanking for. And now, the future is counting on us to complete the world of peace, to fulfill our role as messengers of peace. It is both a calling and a blessing for us all. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take what we learn from peace education and put it into our lives as peace citizens. Let's build a world of peace. A world of peace can be achieved. It can be achieved with the DPCW. I invite you all to join the Peace Letter Campaign. Let's write to the leaders of your country and neighboring countries. Write peace letters with your schoolmates and with your neighbors. Let's write to our leaders to urge them to make peace. Your action will make the DPCW adopted as a United Nations resolution, and it will lay the foundation for international law towards global peace. Let's accomplish our goal together as one. We are one. Thank you very much.
We have there we go. Thank you, Mr. Young-Min Chung, for your insightful words. Next, I would like to welcome up to the stage the chairwoman of IWPG, Mrs. Hyun-Suk Yoon. Please give her a welcoming round of applause.
평화의 가족 여러분 안녕하십니까? 저는 대한민국에서 온 IWPG 대표.
Hello, distinguished guest. My name is Yoon Hyun-suk. I'm the chairwoman of IWPG. I'm truly grateful to all the teachers who are teaching for the noble purpose of peace. And also, I'm so glad to see all these great results of masterpiece to promote peace in Romania. I'm from Korea, and though I didn't go through a war, but I have known in numerous times that how much of our ancestors have been going through this agony of war. Therefore, the peace was so precious, and also for Koreans, peace is something very desperately wanted. I've heard that also Romania is struggling to have a better development of the country after 30 years of fall of communism. At the period of World War II, Chairman Mani Lee himself was a teenager in the war, and he was a war veteran who participated in the Korean War that have killed more than 40,000 people. In the midst of dramatic war, confronting the death of his fellow soldiers, he was determined to finish war and work for peace for his life. The purpose of the work of peace that Chairman Mani Lee is promoting is to fulfill the world of peace and leave it as a legacy to the future generations. And as you may have seen, Chairman Mani Lee, he is around 90 years old, but still he is going around the world to achieve peace. When we see his schedule, this is a hectic schedule that even a young youth cannot bear easily. However, with the endeavor to achieve peace, he has been traveling around the world only for the sole purpose of achieving peace. His works of peace itself is stating a great education for the people to achieve peace. As you have seen the video well, IWPL is the unprecedented
전무후무한 평화의 수확과 풍성한 결실은 이 대표님의 평화의 정신을 이어받은 청년들과 여성들이 살아있는 창조적 정신과 빛의 속도처럼 빠른 실행력을 가지고 함께 만들어가는 것입니다. 저는 자녀를 둔 어머니로서 우리 자녀가 더 이상 전쟁과 폭력의 문화 속에 자라는 것이 아니라 평화 문화 속에서 행복하고 안전하게 살아가기를 희망합니다. 지구촌 본래의 모습을 회복하고 평화를 이룰 수 있는 가장 확실한 해답인 DPCW의 실행 방안과 같이 평화 교육과 평화 문화 전파를 위해 지속적으로 힘써 주신다면 우리의 미래를 이끌어갈 자녀들은 더 이상 전쟁과 폭력이 없는 상식적인 세상, 아름다운 세상, 공의 공도한 세상에서 살아갈 것을 확신합니다. 여러분, 생각이 바뀌면 문화를 바꾸고 문화가 바뀌면 세상의 운명을 바꿀 수 있습니다. 평화의 의식을 일깨우고 평화 문화를 만들어 갑시다. 그리고 전쟁과 분쟁으로부터 자녀를 지키고 후대에 평화를 유산으로 물려줍시다. 시작이 반이다라는 한국의 속담처럼 HWPL 평화교육의 시작을 힘차게 열어주셨으니 앞으로도 루마니아를 넘어 유럽 전역에까지 평화교육이 확산될 수 있도록 지속적으로 시행해 주시고 널리 홍보해 주시기를 부탁드리겠습니다. 우리 모두 한 마음으로 평화 문화를 만들어 전쟁을 종식하고 영원한 평화의 세상을 만듭시다. We are one. 감사합니다.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Hyun Suk Yoon, for your speech. At this time now, we will hear the status report of peace education in Romania. In Romania, HWPL's peace education began with the help of Mr. Marian Dragomir, president of the Romanian branch of Masterpeace. Masterpeace is an international grassroots peace organization active in over 40 countries. Their goal is to mobilize people for for peace-building initiatives and developing a culture of peace. Let us welcome Mr. Dragomir with a big round of applause.
Chairman Man Healy, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear students, allow me to begin my address by congratulating HWPL for this great conference. My name is Marian Dragomir. I'm a language teacher, president of Masterpiece Row Association. My belief is that education imparts knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes that are important for the social, economical, and political development of any country. This role is well articulated in the Sustainable Development Goal number 4, SDG 4, which seeks to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education for all and promote lifelong learning. This view is shared by the HWPL in Article 10, spreading a culture of peace, of the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, where it is mentioned that education is imparted to promote respect and mutual understanding among different religions, beliefs, and ethnic groups. Today, I will present the HWPL Peace Education Progress Report in Romania. This process started for me and for my organization back in 2016, where I had the pleasure of joining thousands of people at the 3rd annual commemoration of World Summit, Seoul, South Korea. This experience made me realize that education for peace starts in classes from early ages. I understood that one of the key interventions is promoting peace through education, is development of confident education policies and plans. This entails conducting conflict analysis on educational systems, structures, and delivery to identify the drivers of conflict and violence. We begin to deliver peace education on the activities and curriculum that was delivered by the 5th educational institutions in Prahova County. During the conference, Youth Let's Voice Out Romania in May 2018, 5 teachers were appointed as peace educators. Dumitru Marius, Unumai Technological High School, Mihai Violeta, Ile Caragiale National College, Shendroi Eugenie, Constantin Stere Gymnasium, Dobrescu Maria Șotrile Gymnasium, and myself from Thomas Socolescu Technological College. This was possible due to the partnership for which we are more than happy to take part and for the continuous peace education. After last year, we can present the HWPL peace education result in Romania, results that made us reflect in general on the role of the educator in general and the need to better implement activities like that in the current curriculum. More than 100 pupils did their lessons. For example, lesson 1, the original state of all creation, had as lesson objectives. We can explore the definition of peace through the natural principles of all nature which lives in harmony. We can apply the principle and value of nature order to realize that man is a peaceful being. And possible outcomes. Pupils will understand that nature was created in different forms and is ordered now, and animal kingdom is a great place to see that. Pupils will present what are the rules that form the animal kingdom and how could this apply to the humans as being rulers of harmony. After the activities, we had reflection time. This time, we had HWPL Peace Education Review, and we selected 3 students. Conde Octavian said, "To be able to learn about peace using non-formal methods is one of the best ways to make children all over the world to understand humans who are struggling for a better tomorrow." Duța Ana Maria said, "Peace education and the curriculum of HWPL is the best way to understand that it's important to live in harmony and interdependence, and doesn't matter where on the globe we are. We all think of our future and the need for peace." And also, Oprescu Cristian said, "My experiences during peace education lesson in implementing the vision of HWPL was one of experiencing another mind frame with tools that I can understand and that made me want to get involved in the local communities in achieving peace. And every creature cannot maintain life by themselves, but we need to respect diversity of each of our own. The results of the survey for HWPL Peace Education are more than signifying to understand the mindset of the Romanian pupil and the subject of peace education. So, the question, was the education beneficial? 92 students responded yes. The question, are you willing to take peace education next time as well? 88 pupils responded positive. The idea is that they were able to widen their insight and view towards peace. The very values used to be ambiguous for them. This type of methods and correlated with the subject made peace education encourage independent thinking, and it opened doors to new ideas. Independent thinkers tend to try to make sense of the world and draw their own conclusions instead of blindly following the belief of others. The students were often challenged to use logical thinking in order to analyze different pieces of literature, the significance of historical events, the scientific findings that they are not familiar with. Coupled with independent thinking, these critical thinking skills led up to innovative solution and alternative in a world full of conflicts, discriminations, and violence. HWPL True Story Book was another part of our ongoing activities in fostering and entering understanding of the struggling of HWPL and the peace initiative that they are bringing to the world. With the help of principals that understood the benefit of such endeavors, we had the opportunity of bringing, with members of HWPL and Masterpiece Row, the HWPL True Story Book to the library of the partner schools. On May 2018, at the event, Youth Let's Voice Out, youth wrote peace letters and it was delivered to the President's office. Thus, peace teachers will keep putting effort into the peace letter campaign onwards to receive reply letter from the President and for the DPCW to be implemented at the UN. All this positive feedback led us to get more involved in trying to take in the making of the peace education textbook and make it more compatible with our national curriculum. This will lead to the need of offering training for teachers that will be appointed. We, peace teachers, will keep moving on for continuous peace education so that it will be deeply rooted in Romania. And also, we will stand at the front line for the implementation of DPCW for our future, so that our students could live in peace. I would like to thank all teachers that are standing and are understanding the need for such a project in our schools. Corina Cristescu, Dia Bogdan, Vlăduță Liliana, Curela Angela, Mihu Madalina, and Baroian Sergiu. And not leastly, thank you to Chairman Manhili, who made us realize the role of education and the importance of peace education. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dragomir. We believe that teachers such as yourself, who not only teach academia, but also the value and culture of peace, are true role models who will raise leaders with the value of peace. Peace education can serve as a foundation to achieving peace and cessation of war. Please give a big hand to the teachers and educators who are doing an excellent job in realizing this goal. Next, Mr. Dumitru Gabriel from Masterpiece Romania will share his experience as a peace teacher. He will elaborate the importance of peace education and the role of teachers. Since being appointed as an HWPL peace teacher in May 2018, Mr. Dumitru Gabriel has been teaching peace education to Romanian students in Ploiești. Let us welcome him with a big round of applause.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, Chairman Manhili, ladies and gentlemen, and dear students. My name is Marius Dumitru. I am a teacher at the Unumai Vocational High School from Ploiești, where I teach Romanian literature, and I've been appointed as one of HWPL's peace educators in 2018, as you have already learned. I became a teacher because I wanted to make a change in the future of our children, and I strongly believe that a well-prepared, dedicated, funny and empathic person can truly influence the development of the young generation. One of my main values is eliminating any racist, unequal, or generally incorrect behavior from my students. That's why bullying, for example, has always been a topic of discussion between me and the ones I've taught over the years. It is this belief that has led me to join the Schools of Peace project in collaboration with Mr. Marian Dragomir. Peace is a very complex subject, but like all journeys start with the first step, so should raising awareness about peace issues be done from the most basic levels. Students must understand that we are all equal, that racism and other forms of social inequality must disappear, and that's why, through my activities in the Schools of Peace project, I've always tried to form the next generation of peace students, just like it is mentioned in the Article 10 from the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War. One of my last activities, for example, focused on having the students understand the concept of war and how easily can many people start or become involved in conflicts that only bring them pain and suffering. Children understand that they have the power to do good at their level. They can actually make a change in their own life and, in the future, in the lives of their families. I've tried to make them see how important are values such as respect, helping others, or tolerance, thus creating better students that will develop into righteous adults. Working on the project of HWPL has brought me much joy and fulfillment, because I could also blend my normal lessons with the message of my peace ones. We talked how the bad choices of some of the literary characters that we've been studying affected their lives and the lives of their loved ones, and I'm referring here to people who have chosen to treat others without respect, hate them, or see them as inferior. After this activity, I realized just how important it is for us teachers to be dignified, tolerant, and morally correct people, thus becoming role models for our students. If we place peace at the top of our value scale and act accordingly, then those that we teach will surely do the same. I'd like to add that peace education exists to create a peaceful world for the future generation and to cease all wars. To achieve these goals, I hope DPCW will become an international law through the United Nations, and I promise to put more efforts to the peace education, which will be a solid foundation for DPCW to become a reality. Lastly, I would like to express my gratitude to Chairman Lee and HWPL, who provided the source of the peace education. You have inspired us to play an important role as peace teachers. Furthermore, I hope peace education will be spread not only to our students, but to students everywhere. They are the future of our peace. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you. Thank you very much for all your hard work and for your speech, Mr. Dumitru Gabriel. And now, Ms. Maglan Isabel will share with us her experience as a student receiving peace education. She will share with us what peace education means to her and why she values the lessons of HWPL peace education. Put your hands together for Isabel.
Let me extend my salute, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Maglan Isabel. I'm 18 years old, and for more than 3 years, I have been a member of Masterpiece Row Association and a student at Mihai Viteazu National College in Ploiești. My experiences have led me to understand that the best thing that a community has its people, and the way you can raise the children of a community can be seen as a label of that community's commitment in raising awareness on topics that are actual. 1 year ago, I had the fortune of participating in Raise Your Voice conference held in Bucharest, Romania by HWPL, and thus the road to discovering new ideas and understanding what is peace and how can achieve it began. Thus, first, I understood the need of Peace Letter initiative that was marked last year, an initiative that I joined and hope that my voice and that of my colleagues will be heard. The need for the rule of law and the implementation of rules that might stop breaking human rights are needed in our society. I can say that the most intense activities were done in my school after classes when we started to implement HWPL Peace Education curriculum. I understood the role of people in the delicate balance of nature. The best part was that using non-formal methods that are very close to the ones that are used in Erasmus Plus youth exchanges supported by the European Union, we had the possibilities of experiencing in real-life sessions how people that are suppressed and their freedoms are lacking feel like. While the non-formal education approach may seem new to pupils who have spent their lives in the formal school system, I had the possibility on realizing that what HWPL is proposing is a new way of seeing topics that are currently very important in the Romanian educational system: anti-bullying, non-violent communication, and collaborative activities. The activities that we did in school for more than 3 months after classes had made me realize some values after the process of learning was ended. These values that HWPL Peace curriculum and the teacher made us realize are tolerance, caring, social equity, peace, justice, cooperation and solidarity, human rights, active citizenship, gender equality, self-awareness, empathy. My experience made me realize that the peace education practices in non-formal and informal education are directed to inculcating in learners with the habit of peace, respect for the earth and other human beings, irrespective of citizenship, gender, social status, and age, so as to establish a culture of peace and non-violence in the society. Also, so many peace education that exist in the world deals with superficial problems caused by war. HWPL Peace Education helps youth to define peace and its value that would make them to be leaders of peace. At last, I firmly think that it is necessary for every citizen to learn peace education so as to be equipped with the value of peace that embraces diversity and admits the difference. I hope a culture of peace to be spread in the Romania through this opportunity. And I also would like to stress the students should be peace messenger and work for practical peace with systematic peace education. Last but not least, I would like to thank my teacher, Mr. Dragomir Marian, President of Masterpiece Row Association, Chairman Lee, President of HWPL, for teaching me peace education that nurtured me with the spirit of peace for the bright future. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Isabel, for your heartfelt remarks. It is now my honor to introduce Mr. Man-hee Lee, Chairman of Heavenly Culture, World Peace, Restoration of Light, the organizer of today's event, up onto the stage. Mr. Man-hee Lee has been meeting with heads of state, international law experts, and experts in the field of education to realize his vision of a world without war. Additionally, Chairman Lee has given many lectures on the topic of world peace in numerous universities and schools, inspiring students and faculty alike and raising awareness for peace. As a pioneer of peace education, he has designed the peace education curriculum now implemented all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Man-hee Lee.
Very glad to see you everyone today.
우리는 위에와 아래 이러한 조화 안에서 살고 있습니다.
It is a combination of the earth and sky with the nature we are living in here in this world. There are agonies and pains, but there are also good days. What are the things that we need to have at this moment?
우리나라 왕가의 자손으로
As descendants of kings, as a royal family, I was born in very poor farmland.
하나의 가문과
However,
참 가정의
I have learned about my family tree and also royal family and about the history of our family. And now, as you're very well aware of, I'm working hard for peace and running peace initiatives all around the world. In addition, I witnessed many things in this world by going around the world and meeting many people and various people. In addition, there are many things that we have learned by witnessing and observing, and I personally have those too. Looking back to history, a great Chinese king, Jinshi King, was living with his child alongside a river, and also he was always with his children at the time, and he went live in the mountain and lived together. And what happened to his children? He became, his children, his son became the protector of such a mountain. In addition, when he moved this place to next to an academy, that children became so into studying. We can know how the environment is really important for our children and our kids. What are other important factors for our children? It's the family and it's the society that they are living in. Therefore, regardless of who we are, we need to make a family that is based on peace. Why did I start HWPL, Heavenly Culture and World Peace and Restoration of Light? The heaven is holy place, and I personally wanted to start the education based on the heavenly culture. That's why I named my organization, our organization, as HWPL. Regardless of how much money you have and whether you're born with a family with good wealth, however, if you do not learn about peace and if you don't learn from your family members, you could face some of this chaotic world. Therefore, I can say the beginning is very important. The family that you live in and the family that you were born is very important, and the surrounding environment is also important too. And I'd like to emphasize the importance of family, and then school is also a great source for providing peace education. In addition, society needs to provide those education for children. In this world, we have numerous schools and universities. In the past, we do not have such educational institutions. At the time, we didn't have an opportunity to get proper education curriculums. As time passed, the culture of peace, the culture of world has been developed dramatically, and now it's not that late to start the peace education. Now is the time that if you have a heart to pursue the path of peace, we can do all well with the spirit of peace. You're very well aware of this fact. Therefore, to achieve world peace, we have IWPL have prepared peace education materials, and I believe that those materials are not even comparable to other education materials, and it's worth more than any other education materials. And I've always wanted to help children with the peace education materials that can inspire our children to be born with the culture of peace. And there are so many and various schools around the world that are now interested in peace education. In addition to peace education, we need to change the world of religions. Instead of being superficial in believing God or your own God, we need to become a true believers based on the scriptures. The textbook for religion would be the scriptures, and that's the reason why I've been comparing the scriptures. In some scriptures, it also mentions that those who committed wrongdoings were imprisoned. Likewise, it is possible to know how important it is to have proper education with regard to peace. In addition, in the scripture, in the Bible, God has been mentioned as the most holy one who cannot live together with sins. I believe that as we start our education from family or peace and extend that into our schools and society, we can prevent the culture of killings and hatred each other. We need to educate the fundamentals of human beings. Those are the fundamental values that we need to educate children around the world. Now is the time, unlike the past, that now is the time that we need to provide a completely changed education system, and we also need to become the ones who are completely changed with peace educations. So the peace education curriculum should include what we can witness, see, and observe, and feel with regard to the culture of peace. And if there are anything that we need to update or correct, then it's necessary to change it to make it better. I've been to one place before. In South Korea, and I met a person in South Korea. And he personally had a chance to learn many things from his parents, and he was able to answer everything that I asked you. And the last question was that, where is your family originated? And he also asked me a question, where I came from and what kind of family line am I came from. And I answered that I'm from Lee family. And in Korea, since Lee family is a royal family, he was speechless. Likewise, the education starts from family and also school and from society. And with the spirit of peace and with the discipline, I believe that we can be educated more. In Korean culture, we value respect to each other as one of the highest virtues and educate children to be humble and respectful to their elders. Likewise, in peace education, the same principles need to be applied around the world. We need to educate our children, and this should start from their family and schools. I believe that as the peace education continues, I'm confident that our culture could be changed into a better one, the one that can make this world more peaceful. Therefore, families and schools need to be filled with the culture of peace, and in that way we can all become peace lovers. I have listened really well of those speakers and speeches, and I really appreciate some of those insightful comments. I'd like to reflect and I'd like to learn from those insights for peace. And I have a couple of reasons why I started to work for peace. By looking at the reality of this world, I've started to work for peace. In addition, it is because I had a clear answer for peace. That is the reason why I started to work for peace. And the one who gave this mission to me for peace also guided me that if I take an action, then we can do it, we can achieve the goals that we set. I've heard that we can do it. It is totally realizable. The goal is not unrealizable, but it's realizable goal. In this world, everyone wants to have peace and everyone wants to have world peace and cessation of wars. What did Jewish people said whenever they meet? They always said shalom, which means peace. So whenever they meet each other as Jewish people, they've been always wishing for peace, and it became a culture of peace. Likewise, on everyday basis, we need to practice the culture of peace. I got a chance to visit a research center for international law in London, United Kingdom. And what I said at there is that the United Nations need to be changed and be born again. And I've asked everyone who attended at the conference whether you like the existing international law, and they said no. So when we introduce the DPCW, the Declaration of Peace and Cessation of War, which is a new peace law, I have created the DPCW with the consultation of international law experts, legal experts, the most renowned ones around the world. And this is an effort for achieving peace. In addition, I have declared 10 articles and 38 clauses all around the world as making it as a declaration. And I have never received any comments from anyone that I met who are opposing to this DPCW, and they all showed support for the DPCW and world full of peace. In the DPCW, it includes a clause related to the culture of peace, and I believe that the peace can be achieved with the DPCW. Dear family members of peace, if there is something wrong with the DPCW, please suggest us or recommend me something so that we can update it in a better way for peace. And if DPCW is implemented and if we can eliminate the causes for war, we can achieve peace. And DPCW will become a legally binding instrument for peace in this world. I'm certain that this can be achieved. As I mentioned previously, regardless of who I met, whether it's former or current presidents, I have urged to them that if it is possible to achieve peace, then they need to support the DPCW and agree with our peace initiatives. With the current DPCW, I believe that it is possible to cease wars around the world, and world peace is certainly achievable. By thinking about that, we need to work hard to implement it. We should not stand still, and we should not have this mindset that it is impossible. And if a current or former president opposed to such initiatives, it will be very unfortunate, and those presidents will be remembered as the ones who are opposing to peace and recorded in the history of the world. I believe that it is very sad that many of the youth around the world couldn't blossom their lives. However, they had to go to the front lines to fight in the war, and they're often sacrificed. We should no longer stand against such cruel, those agonizing pains from wars. Rather than speaking out that we need to stop wars, it is time that we need to take an action, right? Dear everyone, dear students, dear youth, now is the time that we all gather together, and we need to protect ourselves. And all women, we need to protect our children. How can we protect our children? With the DPCW. In addition, we should not let the world from weapons. All of us want to have this world with peace. And in order to achieve peace, we need to pass and implement the DPCW to the United Nations. Let's all become messengers of peace. I truly urge you, everyone, let's all become messengers of peace, and let's achieve peace on the. Let's all become messengers of peace, and the meaning of messengers of peace is that to spread the message of peace all around the world, because the work of peace is not an individual task, but it belongs to everyone. Let us all become one. Let us achieve world peace. Thank you.
We truly, thank you. Thank you. We truly appreciate Chairman Lee for his extraordinary work and his relentless drive to bring peace to this world. He has truly awoken our belief in the effectiveness and necessity of peace education. Let us give Chairman Lee another round of applause. Thank you. We will now have a presentation ceremony for teachers newly appointed by HWPL as peace educators. Today, 8 teachers from 7 schools will receive certificates. I would like to invite up to the stage Ms. Corina Cristescu, Mr. Sergio Nicolae Baranau, Ms. Angela Elena Curalera, Mr. Bogdan Diay, Ms. Madalina Mihu, Ms. Liliana Vladuta, Ms. Maria Muntian Mihai, and Mr. Vasil Valentinais. This appointment certificate is given to teachers who agree to HWPL's peace initiatives and will work as HWPL peace educators. For the certificate ceremony, let us once again invite Chairman Lee up onto the stage. We will now take a group photo with the newly appointed peace educators and Chairman Man-hee Lee. Everyone, please stand and hold your certificates in front of you. Look at the camera and smile brightly. On the count of 3, we will take the picture. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. You may now go back to your seats. Please give one more round of applause to the teachers who are going to work hard for the peace education in Romania. Next, we will have a performance to celebrate the spirit of this event. A group of young adults from all over Europe have prepared a performance expressing their wish for a world of peace. Please welcome our performance team with a warm round of applause.
평화의 꽃이 활짝 피었으면 좋겠습니다. I wish for you, I wish for me, I wish for all the world to live in harmony. wish for all these things for every girl and boy. And wherever in the world they are, they'll see the stars above and wish for peace and wish for love. 선생님, 감사합니다.
Thank you for the youth performers who have presented us with a magnificent performance symbolizing their wish for the blooming of the flower of peace.